win the Stanley Cup, and then steal another team's best player. That is exactly what we're going to be doing here in today's video, as the Stanley Cup winner will then go to the wheel, spin it, whatever team we land on, they are allowed to steal the best player from that squad, and then add them to their own team, making them even better after already going on and winning the cup. But the first order of business is we have to simulate year number 1. All things are fair. Nobody has been moved or changed or anything, and we have to find out who is the first team that will be able to spin the wheel and add another superstar, hopefully, to their championship winning squad. At the end of year number 1, not really much of a surprise here, as Edmonton will finish as the best team in the league. Winnipeg is a little bit surprising. Colorado and Toronto are both good teams. Vancouver was up there. We get the Rangers and Tampa Bay. And if we take a look at the bottom, San Jose only 28 wins on the year. Not too surprised by that. Anaheim had a bad season. And Buffalo, I mean, they started 0-2 in real life in the Global Series, got dominated by the Devils, but I'm expecting them to be a little bit of a better team than this. So the scoring here in the first season isn't too high. McDavid led with 103 points. Breadman was the only other 100-point scorer. We had McKinnon at 99. Stammer had a good season. Draisaitl was decent. And for the goals, Matthews will have the most at 57. Pasta had 55. McKinnon 49. Nobody else really. Ooh, Nazem Kadri jumps off the charts for sure. 43 goals and 75 points. I know he did have a hell of a year a few seasons ago. Wow, that is literally going to be 3 years ago this season. That's kind of crazy. 28 goals, 87 points. That was the year Colorado went all the way as well. And he was great in the playoffs. If we take a look, actually, I'm forgetting that it's R2 go-to playoff stats now. 18 points in 15 games. What a dog. Actually, never mind. That was 19-20. He had 15 in 16 games. So he was Nazem Kadri outside of Toronto. I mean, you could tell already what the Toronto stats are on here. We got Hellebuck having the most wins at 45. I mean, he is the highest rated goalie at a 93, and the most shutouts also will be a two-way tie between Hellebuck and Sergei Bobrovsky, who, I mean, is pretty close to retirement. He's 36 years old. Bob is not no spring chicken. And now here is our year number 1 playoff bracket. Surprisingly, Utah made it, so the curse of Arizona is no longer. We got Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, and Pittsburgh. That would be a hell of a series. But let's see who advances to the Stanley Cup Finals, and we'll have a shot at adding another superstar in the offseason. All right, now in the finals, we have the Oilers up against the New Jersey Devils, who are having a comeback season after not even making the playoffs last year. So let's see who will go on and take home the cup here in year number 1. All right, here we are in game 6. The Oilers have a chance to go on and get revenge over last season. They're leading 4-5-0 in the game as Bouchard will blast one home on Markstrom. And 3-2 in the series. Luke Hughes gets the Devils on the board, but I don't think it's going to matter, honestly. The Edmonton Oilers are clearly in the driver's seat here and are now 5 minutes away from finally taking home the Stanley Cup, baby. Yes, sir. Thankfully, the Oilers will go on and win the Stanley Cup as they get their revenge from last season, obviously losing in Game 7 in the finals. We had a patch last Friday, but I guess EA didn't fix the fact that the players disappeared during the Stanley Cup presentations. Oh, dear God. Like, what do we got to do to get this fixed right now? I'm genuinely curious. As the Oilers will defeat the Devils in 6 games in the finals. All in all, honestly, New Jersey had a very good season, making it all the way to the finals. Connor McDavid is a Conn Smythe winner, 9 goals, 31 points. He had a better playoff run last year, but I guess it doesn't really matter considering he is going to be taking home not only the Conn Smythe for back-to-back seasons, but now finally the one trophy that he has always wanted his entire life. There it is. Lord Stanley will be raised, and the Oilers will hit the wheel and be able to become an even better team heading into next season. Connor McDavid, come on up. You deserve it more than anybody else in the league. Raise that Stanley Cup above your head and bust a nut for me, as the Oilers are champions here in year number 1. No surprises, McDavid will lead the playoffs in scoring. He had 31 points. Draisaitl had 14 goals. He was a sniper. He sure had a good playoff run. I mean, Bouchard did his thing, Shaq Hyman. It was really Oilers dominated besides having like 2 of the Devils here. Nico Hischier clearly was the best player on New Jersey. Artemi Panarin will win the Ted Lindsay and Hart Trophy. Art Ross and Maurice Richard will go to McDavid and Matthews. The Norris will go to Charlie McAvoy. McDavid the Conn Smythe. Hellebuck will take home the Vezina. And somehow Austin will win the Frank J. Selke Award. All right, so here we are on the wheel for the very first time in this video. We shall spin it, and the Edmonton Oilers will be able to grab a certain franchise's best player, and it looks like we are going to be landing on the Carolina Hurricanes, almost the rivals in the Calgary Flames, but instead, Carolina. Your mom's a hoe, Sebastian Aho, 91 overall, is the highest rated player on the Carolina Hurricanes, so he will be the player that has been selected to be added to the Edmonton Oilers as they got an even deeper forward core now. So moving along, we got the Colorado Avalanche finishing as the best team with 50 wins, followed by Dallas, Florida, New Jersey. Chicago is a sneaky team that is top 5 in the league. The Edmonton Oilers somehow got worse adding Sebastian Aho to the roster. I don't really know how that works, but I guess we'll roll with it. Calgary was the worst team. They're absolutely terrible. They are my pick to win the NHL draft lottery. I think they're going to do it because they're going to be shite. Leon Draisaitl will light the lamp. We do have more scoring in the NHLs. McDavid, Matthews, Hughes, McKinnon all reach over 100 points besides the dog who had 100 on the dot. Your mom's a hoe on Edmonton. Rocked 35 goals and 90 points. Speaking of goals, Matthews will lead yet again. He had 58 on the season. McKinnon had 56. Draisaitl 49 and Kucherov's 46 himself. Thatcher Demko will have the most wins at 42 on Vancouver. That's a little bit unrealistic. And we get a two-way tie between Connor Ingram and Ilya Sorokin. Both had 8 shutouts on the season. 8 shutouts is a lot for this simulation. Usually the goalies don't really dominate here in NHL 25. You have to go back to like 17 to where they dominated. And now taking a look at our playoff bracket. Here it is. Tampa, Toronto, round number 1. Florida, Boston, 2 great series in the Eastern Conference. And let's go ahead and see who makes the finals yet again. And now in the finals, we get a rematch between the Avs and the Lightning of 2022. We know Colorado basically steamrolled them in that finals, but this time might be a little bit different. Colorado's not as good of a team, and neither is Tampa, to be honest. Tampa Bay has been destroying Colorado, flipping the Uno reverse. Kucherov will take the lead here in Game 4. They're trying to sweep the Avs and win the Stanley Cup. Their first cup without Stammer as well, which would be, honestly, would be pretty tragic in my opinion. All right, here we are late in the third period. Tampa Bay holding on to a 2-1 lead with 2:15 remaining. They are up 3-0 in the series and trying to sweep the Colorado Avalanche, which would be revenge. I mean, Colorado went up, I believe, 3-1 in that series, and they took control right away. Well, let's see what the Lightning can do. Kucherov coming in. Nikita Kucherov. Are you kidding me? Come on, Neil Kuch. I know you can do better than that. Kale Makar, the best defenseman, moves it over to Hookers and Blow into Chushkin. Turns it over to Chernak. It's just turnover after turnover after turnover. I mean, come on. Can we get anything? Any offense? Victor Hedman fires at the empty net, but missed absolutely horribly. As we only have 30 seconds remaining, Kale Makar just got dummied. Kucherov takes his time, moves over to Gensel, loses it back to All Hail Kale. Jonathan Drouin finally gains his own, sauces it over, and Vasi will make the save. 20 seconds left to go here in the third period. Massive turnover. Landeskog coming in, and Vasilevsky will have to cover the puck up yet again. Not a lot of time left. The Tampa Bay Lightning trying to hold on to this lead. I'm going to go defend the lead and neutral zone trap. Why did Anthony Cirelli not put that puck in the back of the net? I know we got 5 seconds left, but they can still score. Over to Josh Manson. Easy save. As the Tampa Bay Lightning here in season number 2 will get the job done, get their revenge, get their payback, and get another Stanley Cup. I guess they don't need Steven Stamkos to be good in this game, as it looks like they left the ice because they have celebrated so much that they don't feel the need to celebrate a cup win any longer. They would dominate Colorado. Get those brooms out, baby, because there will be a lot of sweeping going on here in the finals. Vasilevsky will grab his second Conn Smythe of his career. He rocked a .929 save percentage in the Stanley Cup playoffs. A pretty good. Oh my God, why does he have like a goat beard? What is that beard? That is horrible, man. Vasilevsky, you gotta shave that shit, brother. Like, what on earth? Doesn't matter. The Stanley Cup is here, and it is here for the Lightning as they are going to go on in year number 2 and have an opportunity now to steal another team's best player. Newly minted captain and Victor Hedman for the first time is the first player to raise the Stanley Cup for the Lightning as they have gone all the way here in year number 2. We got the dog, Nathan McKinnon, leading the playoffs in scoring. He had 27 points. Kucherov had 14 goals and 22. Middlestat was very good. We had Pasternak only playing 14 games, but he produced. Kale Makar was all right, and Mikko Rantanen was decent himself. For the individual awards here, we got Draisaitl winning the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews, the Maurice Richard yet again. Makar will take home the Norris. Vasi, the Conn Smythe. Joey Decord will win the Vezina Trophy. And Anze Kopitar, the Selke. All right, here we go. Back on the wheel for the second season in a row. Now we are going to see what team Tampa Bay will be choosing from, and it's going to be Carolina again. If we get the same team, I'm not. Oh, it's actually the Calgary Flames. So we did not get the same team. Let's go to Calgary and see who is their highest rated player. Statistically speaking, Rasmus Andersson at an 88 overall is the highest rated player, and he will be joining now the defending Stanley Cup champions in the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay, with the addition of Rasmus Andersson, got a lot better. They are the defending champs, 57 dubs on the season. Vancouver had a good year. New Jersey and Edmonton were top 4, and the Hurricanes at 5, even losing their best player, which is a little bit surprising. San Jose, they are still awful. Nobody is surprised by that. Nikita Kucherov will have himself a year, 59 goals, 123 points, leading in both categories. McDavid, McKinnon, Point were all 100-point players this season. JT Miller was good. David Pastrnak was all right. Matthews a little bit low on the point side, but goals, he had 52, only less than Bedard, who had 55, dear God, and Nathan McKinnon, who also had 55. We got Pasta having a decent season himself. For the goaltenders in the league, Vasi broke the wins record with 51 wins on the season. And Skinner, who is the best goaltender in the world, had the most wins, tied for the most wins, alongside Bob, Ingram, and Tristan Jarry, all at 5 apiece. And now in the playoffs, here is our bracket. Another year goes by, and we are going to see, can Tampa Bay go back-to-back? Can the Edmonton Oilers rebound after adding Sebastian Aho? I have no idea. We now get a brand new Stanley Cup final matchup. Vancouver never won a Stanley Cup in franchise history. Detroit back in the final. Shout out Mo Seider. He's here. He's ready to go. But who is going to go on and take home the cup here at the end of year number 3? The Red Wings are 12 minutes away. 3-1 lead. Joe Veleno gives them an insurance marker. They're up 3-2 in the series, spoiling Vancouver as the Canucks are being chokers yet again. Well, here we are. 46 seconds remain until the Detroit Red Wings get to raise the Stanley Cup. I did not expect this at all. I mean, Detroit has a decent team, I guess. They were one of the worst teams in 24 when I did that simulation where every team won the Stanley Cup. 33 seconds remain in the third period here. Jake DeBrusk trying to create some offense, but he's just skating himself into a corner. There is Mo Sizzy. Moves it up to Gustafsson. Over to Bergeron. Over to Joe Veleno, who will pot home the empty netter, as the Red Wings in season number 3 will do the unthinkable. There is a Stanley Cup awaiting its return to Detroit. It's been a long time since the Red Wings have been able to raise this, especially in their own building. The Red Wings will finally do it with this young core that they have of like Mo Seider. Dylan Larkin, I guess, isn't that young. They did have Vladimir Tarasenko, picked up an older Patrick Kane, and finally will be able to go on and win the Stanley Cup as they beat Vancouver, who are glorified playoff chokers. Another playoff Stanley Cup final loss. Pray for the people in Vancouver. The riots are coming, I promise you that. The Conn Smythe will go to Alex DeBrincat, number 93. He had 9 goals and 21 points. So I guess it was just a team effort in Detroit. Nobody really stood out that much, honestly. I was a little shocked. I thought Patty Kane in his incredible sim engine would win the Conn Smythe, but it doesn't matter. We're all here for one thing and one thing only, and that is the Stanley Cup. There it is in Little Caesars Arena. Dylan Larkin was the first teenager to crack the Red Wings roster in like 20 years, and now he is the captain to bring the cup back to the city of Detroit. Steven Stamkos will lead the playoffs. He had 10 goals, 27 points. JT Miller had 24. Hughes 24. DeBrincat 21. And Sid the Kid Crosby at age 37 will put up 7 goals and 21 points. Nikita Kucherov will win all the awards. The Norris will go to Quinn Hughes. The Conn Smythe to DeBrincat. Vasi the Vezina and the Selke will go to JT Miller. You don't see this very often. Yet again, spinning the wheel, this time for the Detroit Red Wings, who get to become an even better team. But unfortunately, they have to take the San Jose Sharks' best player, which honestly is probably the worst team you could get on this entire wheel. The Sharks' best player in this game is Tyler Toffoli at an 86 overall. I guess it's not a bad addition, but there are many, if not all, the other NHL teams are a better choice than San Jose. The Colorado Avalanche will finish as the best team in the league. They had 53 wins, followed by Edmonton's 53, so the same amount. Winnipeg had a good season. Vancouver was decent. Tampa Bay, 48 wins. And where is the Red Wings? Top 10 in the league. I mean, they didn't get the best addition, but I guess any addition is better than no addition. The Sharks, yet again, I mean, they did lose their best players, so they're obviously going to get worse as the years go on. Nathan MacKinnon will have the most points in the entire NHL with 104, and he will also have the most goals at 59 for the goalies in the National Hockey League. Georgiev had the most wins at 48, and the most shutouts will go to Tristan Jarry with 6 on the season. The Oilers yet again have made the Stanley Cup Finals, and they're up against a team who's already won in the video, so it's a road to 2 here between the Oilers and the Red Wings, who will win their second Stanley Cup first here in the video. Can the Coilers close the show? Evander Kane gets a third goal? Yeah, 3-0 lead here in the third period. They were up 3-1 in this series, and they're trying to close in on their second Stanley Cup. Detroit does get one in Alex DeBrincat on Stuart Skin Daddy. But this game, I mean, it's close, but I think the Oilers have it. Well, by the time I hopped in, the Red Wings scored to make it a 3-2 affair here in the third period. 47 seconds remain. They're only down by 1, so theoretically they could come back. As the Edmonton Oilers trying to hold on to a lead here. Corey Perry, why do we have the fourth line out on the ice? Let's have a full change here. Oh, no. Here comes Rasmussen coming into the zone. He's 1-on-5, and he's going to take everybody 1-on-5. Luckily, the best goaltender in the world will make the save. 30 seconds remain. Draisaitl moves it up to Bouchard, up to Ekholm. Empty net for the Red Wings, maybe? Is there an empty net? There is. McDavid, there it is. Connor McDavid will seal the deal as the Edmonton Oilers will go ahead and win their second cup in this simulation. They dog walked the Red Wings in the finals 3-1, so we know who the best team so far in the video is, and they are going to be getting even better here in the offseason as they're going to go to the wheel yet again for the second time, and they will be able to steal another team's best player. The Red Wings, I mean, adding Tyler Toffoli definitely helped them get back here, but was not enough to beat the Oilers. And Evander Kane is going to win the Conn Smythe Trophy, 11 goals and 24 points. I will never forget, back in 22, this guy had like 14 goals in like 14 games at that point. He was a monster playing alongside Connor McDavid. And here comes McDavid yet again for the second time in his career, as he will have his name written on that cup for 2 different occasions. The Oilers, 2 Stanley Cups in the video. I'm enjoying this simulation, I'll tell you that much. Evander Kane, I never thought I'd see the day that he would have the most points in the playoffs, followed by Adam Henrique. What was this third line smoking? Patrick Kane had 23. Draisaitl, look at this. Draisaitl McDavid took a back seat to Adam Henrique and Evander Kane in the year 2025. Nathan MacKinnon is the best player in the entire NHL's history. Dahlin will win the Norris, Evander Kane the Conn Smythe, Vasi the Vezina, and Anze Kopitar yet again the Selke. This honestly might be my favorite simulation so far of NHL 25, as the Edmonton Oilers are going to be able to steal the best player from the Dallas Stars, the team we beat in the conference finals, and the Oilers' aura is just growing. And the highest rated player on Dallas is a 92 overall Miro Heiskanen. Literally the perfect player to add to this Edmonton Oilers squad. It is scary hours right now in the NHL. The Vancouver Canucks will be the best team, win the President's Trophy. They had 52 wins, followed by the Coilers, Florida, Colorado, and Tampa. And at the bottom, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets. McDavid will have the most points at 119, Draisaitl 109, and Pasta 108. And on the goals side, we got Leon Draisaitl and Austin Matthews, each at 54 apiece, leading the NHL. And in turn, they're going to share that Maurice Richard trophy. The goaltenders right now, Demko again is going to dominate. I mean, 44 wins. And for shutouts, tied between Aiden Hill and UC Saros, both having 7 on the season. Now in the Stanley Cup Finals, we got a brand new matchup. The LA Kings and the Toronto Maple Leafs, who will be the first team to go on and win their first cup of this video. Will the LA Kings actually defeat Toronto in the Cup Finals? They're leading 3-1 in the series. We got a tie game here in Game 5. I'll knot it up at 2 apiece. Who is going to win the game? Somebody has to score a game winner. Shots are 34-30. It looks like we are. No, we are not headed to overtime. Matthew Knies will force a Game 6 for the Maple Frauds. Are we really about to see the Toronto Maple Leafs complete a 3-1 comeback in the Stanley Cup Finals? That would be legendary. Austin Matthews, 3-0 lead and we are headed back to Toronto for a Game 7. Here we are in Game 7. Adrian Kempe will take the lead on Joseph Swiss Cheese Wall. A 4-1 lead for the Kings. Here, 10 minutes left in the third. Can they go on and I repeat, not choke away a 3-1 series lead in the finals? They're still up by 1 late here in the third. 49 seconds left to go. Can you imagine a Game 7 in Toronto where they're losing? I wouldn't be shocked if that city rioted. In the Stanley Cup Finals, I could see it happening. Kempe moves up to Alfredson. What am I saying? It was Anderson, I think. Misses the empty net. Not a lot of time remaining. Toronto empty their goalie. Mitch Marner, come on, brother. Moves it up to the former captain. And John Tavares, what can he do? Walking in. Tavares rips a clap on, but a great save by Darcy Kemper. Kopitar skating. Come on, Kopi, you gotta move. And Kevin Fiala will seal the deal. And there will be no 3-1 choke job in the Stanley Cup Finals as the Los Angeles Kings will dethrone Toronto here in Toronto at the Scotiabank Center. Game 7. I know their fans are pissed. I would not be shocked if this happened in real life and there was a riot in the streets of Toronto. I know that street. I was on that street where the Air Canada Center is. The Roger or the Sky Dome is just up the road. It's a long-ass, busy-ass road. I've been there multiple times. That place would be on fire as Drew Doughty wins the Conn Smythe. 7 goals, 22 points for the kid, as I don't believe Doughty has a Conn Smythe. Quick won it in 12, I believe, and did he win it again in 14? Or was it Anze Kopitar? I can't really remember. And here is Captain Kopi coming to raise the Stanley Cup for the 3rd time in his career as we now head to the wheel and see what best player from another franchise will be added to the Los Angeles Kings. McDavid will win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross and Hart Trophy. Draisaitl the Maurice Richard, Roman Josi the Norris, Doughty the Conn Smythe, Demko will take home the Vezina, and Kopitar the Selke. Well, LA Kings fans, it is your lucky day. You're on the wheel. We are going to spin it, and we are landing on the Columbus Blue Jackets. So let's head to Ohio and see who their highest rated player is. The Columbus Blue Jackets' highest rated player is Zach Werenski at an 88 overall. So the Kings D-Corps has just gotten better. If you guys have made it this far into the video and you don't want Diddy to find you, make sure you sub to the channel with notifications on so you get notified every single time that I go live or post a video. And also, our Discord is on the road to 1,000 members. There will be a link in the description. Not in the description, I'm wrong. In the comments, I will make sure to pin my comment at the top of the screen with the Discord link so you guys can join it up. Well, we have the Oilers back in the Cup Finals, and they're up against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who do have a cup in this video. This could be the final Stanley Cup matchup of this entire sim, so let's see if the Oilers can win their 3rd, or possibly the Lightning will win their 2nd. The Oilers on the verge of their 3rd Stanley Cup in the video, up 2-0 in the game, 3-0 in the series, trying to sweep Tampa Bay, which would be an impressive feat, honestly. 18 seconds remain. I've seen crazier things, but the computers are really going to have to cook up here if they want to get 2 goals, especially with an empty net. McDavid, come on, seal the deal, captain. Oh, my captain, to Draisaitl. Shaq Hyman back to the point. Why would he not shoot it? Oh, my God. The wide open net, and they don't want to put it in there. Regardless, it does not matter. The Oilers, for the 3rd time in the video, will win Lord Stanley and have cemented themselves as a dynasty. As, of course, they did get better the off seasons where they did win the Cup. They picked up, I believe, Sebastian Aho and Miro Heiskanen. 2 great players that just made this team even better than they already were. I mean, they won the Cup in year number 1 with literally no changes to the roster. And now in the final season, they will sweep the Tampa Bay Lightning. 4 straight games of pure dominance. Leon is the Conn Smythe winner. 6 goals, 27 points. And he had 43 hits. And there is the cup being raised in Tampa Bay, not for the Lightning, instead for my dynasty Edmonton Oilers. This might be, and it might go down as my favorite sim of this entire game. I mean, so far, we're still early in the game's life cycle, but seeing my Oilers become a dynasty is a lovely sight to behold. Leon Draisaitl, Conn Smythe winner, 27 points in the postseason. Kucherov had 12 goals and 25. Rantanen was good. Aho was up there, as well as Braden Point and Connor McDavid. Draisaitl will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Again, Matthews the Maurice Richard, McAvoy the Norris. We got Draisaitl the Conn Smythe. Freddie Anderson of Carolina will win the Vezina. and Tummy Ache Matthews the Selkie. Well, I would consider that a very successful simulation. My Oilers won 3 cups, Tampa got 1, Detroit got another, and I can't remember who else won. That might have been it, but the Oilers are a certified dynasty as they have stolen teams' best players across the league in your mom's a hoe and Miro Heiskanen. And it really did pay off in the end. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave some support on it. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see next. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your goddamn willy.